Well, might as well just get started. Hello, everybody. I know about half of you on this call so far, which is great. My name is Natalie. Old friends and new friends from previous sessions on this conference. My name is Natalie Monbiot. And today I'm going to be talking about synthetic characters and creating a human connection in an all digital landscape that we find ourselves in. And that's particularly how brands and businesses can create a human connection when the primary real estate that we're dealing with is not New York City, it is your computer screen or your mobile screen. So how do we use this as an interface? How do we use this real estate to our advantage in a way to communicate in the most human way to our customers? So this is kind of taking the brand perspective. And I work with a company called Hour One. And Hour One is the world's first synthetic character platform. And we'll go into what that sort of means and why we exist and the problems that we think we're solving or starting to solve. But essentially, we use generative AI, a form of AI, to be able to create live action content at scale, providing human touch to a lot of the communication that we find on the web, which we think is needed. So just jumping straight into kind of what I mean by that. So here's an example of one of our characters, one of our synthetic characters. It's a little bit of a misnomer, takes a bit of explaining. This is Nikki. She is a synthetic character, but she is also based on a real human being. And in this case, half of these little video thumbnails are real. So an actual video of the original human being behind the character. And the other half are synthetic. So they were generated using computers. And this is our version of the Turing test that we hold ourselves to. The idea is we want to make our synthetic characters as lifelike and human-like as possible and express kind of the full realm of emotion and facial expressions in a natural way to be able to engage people better on the web. So you might want to have a little game with yourself at this point as to which ones you think are real, which ones are synthetic. I will come clean as I actually don't know which ones are real, which ones are synthetic, because we just swap them around and we tend to do that. But as I think you might be able to tell, the idea is that there shouldn't be any difference, and we're getting closer and closer to that. So this is our commercial grade product. In fact, we can capture now down to the waist, and all the time in R&D, we are able to capture more and more of the human being, more and more emotion, and more movement in order to be able to deliver all kinds of message, all kinds of content in different tones with different expressions to suit all of our customers' needs, essentially, and all of their consumer needs as well. And what I suggest doing as we kind of go along is feel free to add any questions to the chat and definitely leave some time to answer any questions that you might have. So, like, why do we exist? Like, you know, that's kind of cool, but what's it for? Well, we see that we're increasingly living in an all digital landscape. In Anthony's presentation, he said that, you know, in the next few years, next 5 years or so, all content will be video. So that's something that we definitely recognize. And part of the reason that we exist, like, how do we humanize all of this video content, this glut of video content that exists? But as we all know from this current pandemic, we're kind of being thrust into an all digital landscape even faster. So there's an even greater need to create content that is humanizing and that can communicate with human beings on their level. There's a little bit more urgency on that front. So a lot of businesses and companies are feeling the pressure to accelerate digital transformation and advance user experience. And we feel that we sit in that space as one of those tools in the tool set. As marketers, if you've got marketing, brand hat on, personalization is key, and we've known that for a really long time. And we think that characters that are able to personalize content through the actual character versus text on the screen, let's say, which is the way that we tend to personalize content today, is really interesting. So that is part of the reason, one of the problems that we're solving for. And then this need for human connection that I've already mentioned. We know that having a human spokesperson in your brand communications that your customer can relate to, whether that be through how they look, how they appear, their tone of voice, their ethnicity, their age range, that's more critical than ever, but it's actually even harder to do because, well, certainly right now, it's nearly impossible to get a crew together and all of that. But so it's costly and difficult to do and ever more important. So these are some of the problems that we want to solve. So how do we want to do that? Well, we want to make it really easy to create studio quality content and make it really scalable and make it really cost effective. So we want to serve enterprise clients, and we also want to serve small businesses who, for the first time, many of whom are having to transition completely to digital and need tools to be able to fast track their entry into the digital landscape. We actually enable video production of live action characters without the need to show up in a studio and gather a crew. We do it all remotely using AI. That's one way that we're solving the challenge. So, and we also make the videos personable and professional. Our characters always stay the same. They are the character is as you had approved the character as a brand, and they're available all the time, as Anthony pointed out before. They don't have any bad hair days, unlike me today. So they're often worth the modest investment in the first place. So anyway, we're the world's first synthetic character platform, and we exist to solve a lot of the problems that I mentioned. And at the end of the day, we want to create high performance content for brands and businesses. So how does it actually work? Well, it's actually really straightforward. As a brand, as a business, or as a customer of ours, what you do is you just submit text, and we convert that text into videos conveyed or delivered through one or more of our characters that you've chosen or that we've crafted together. And then those videos are available immediately for our customers to deploy across their digital platforms. The videos are theirs.
Have you heard about synthetic characters made by artificial intelligence featuring real people? More than likely, you haven't yet, since it just became possible. AI-generated video is a powerful way of communicating with customers in a personal, engaging, and cost-effective way. What's even crazier is that Our One has built a platform so you can start doing it today. Want to give it a go? I will be happy to assist. And yes, of course, I am a synthetic character as well.
So this is a video that we just created last week. And what you're seeing in this video, which requires a little bit of explaining, is 3 of our synthetic characters. They look real because they are based on real people that we've captured, and we've created synthetic doubles of these real people, talent on our platform. And then what you're hearing is a single script being delivered through the personas and faces and characters, essentially, of these 3 different people or characters on our platform. So that's an example of kind of also where we're heading, which is the ability to take one script and have a lot of different faces deliver that script, so that you can have all kinds of different faces, ethnicities, to match the customer that you're trying to reach. And most brands, most businesses have an array of different customers that they want to communicate with on their level. And this is one way to go about doing that.
I received an incorrect item. What should I do? We want to sort out any issues with incorrect items straight away. If one of the items you received isn't what you ordered, please send it back to us and we'll refund you as soon as it's arrived back at our warehouse. Please fill in the section on the back of your delivery note to say the item is incorrect and put the note in your parcel when you send it back. Do ask for proof of...
No need to play the whole video, but what's going on here, this is another one of our synthetic characters. Actually, she featured in the last video too, one of those three, Danny, we like to call her. And here she is basically taking really dull text-based FAQ content from basically any website and delivering it in a more engaging way. So this example is just FAQ content, but you can imagine any dull content that you might have, or any not so dull content, but that people can't find, just isn't presented in an engaging way, isn't discoverable. You can convert all kinds of text into these types of videos. And as we know, video content is higher engagement. You then have, in a quite cost-effective way, or access now to all of this video content that you didn't have before, that you were able to produce really easily and cost effectively. And now you can deploy that sort of anywhere, basically, on your own properties, on your social, new ways to engage your customer on your properties, and also where they are to start a conversation, to draw them in. So I'm just going to look at a couple more videos here.
Let me tell you about this 2016 Mazda 6 iSport. It's an amazing pre-owned car that passed our 158-point inspection. It only has 19,465 miles on it and comes at a great no-haggle offer. This blue reflex mica Mazda 6 has sound system and child safety, but that is not all. When you buy this Mazda 6 from Get a Car, you'll also enjoy 3 months of our limited warranty.
So this is like a commercial example, right? So this is an e-commerce example. So you can take any listing, any product listing that you might have that is typically text, bullet points, and some images. You can now put that into our platform and convert all of that into each listing into a unique video that you can use on your e-commerce platform. And we've seen, in sort of early findings, we've seen as much as a multiple of 2.5x ROI when you use a video featuring a person to sell a product.
Hello, I'm Danielle. I'm delighted to meet you. I'm obsessed with luxury, and I'm a huge fan of LVMH. In fact, I just treated myself to the new Rimowa trunk, and I love it.
So we don't need to listen to this whole point. The main point of this video is the next one. So our characters can basically be made to speak any language. So you can be, quite firmly unbilingual, and you could be, as a character, you could, suddenly be speaking lots of different languages. So that's what we're going to show you here.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Danielle. Je suis ravie de vous rencontrer. Je suis passionnée par le luxe et je suis une grande fan de LVMH, à tel point que je me suis récemment offerte la nouvelle maille Rimowa, dont je ne peux plus me passer. J'aimerais tout d'abord me présenter. Je suis une création digitale. Cela veut dire que j'ai été développée par un programme d'intelligence artificielle.
So for global brands that have customers in different markets, this is a really nice tool to be able to personalize your existing content assets and make sure that you are engaging each market in their own language.
Hallo, ich zeige euch heute meine Lieblinge von der aktuellen H&M-Kollektion. Der Frühling ist da und bald beginnt die Festivalsaison. H&M hat hierfür zusammen mit der US-amerikanischen Sängerin
Okay, so clearly what we're showcasing here is that she can also speak German, though she can't in real life. And we have these transparent backgrounds so that you can basically throw in whatever background you want to make it really flexible to develop your own videos, essentially. We specialize in creating the character, and then other people can, you know, jump in and you can basically customize your own videos as you wish, like backgrounds, super easy.
Good morning. This is Nikki with today's weather. As you can see, it is chilly in London this morning at just 4 degrees Celsius, and this cold weather will persist all week. The sun will come out later this morning, warming the air to 8 degrees, but despite the blue sky.
So this is something else that went live. Actually, this is our English demo, but it went live in 5 markets in Germany. And so in this use case, we were delivering videos every day to be able to deliver localized weather forecasts. And of course, we're kind of used to the standard of the weatherman or the weatherwoman on national TV, let's say, but we're not accustomed to that level of content on a super localized basis, because no one really has the resources to actually invest in that kind of content in the traditional way of capturing real people in a real studio and all of that. So suddenly you're kind of like opening up the possibility of video featuring real people in places that you would never really think that was possible. And in this case, the video completion rate was at 80%. So, and you know, so there's a lot of advantages to that. Obviously, people find the content itself engaging, but then you can also sell that content or sell advertising around that content and monetize it at a higher rate.
Hey everyone, I'm Lisa from here at HubSpot, and welcome to our first 2020 Product Spotlight video. We've got an extra special edition of the video to kick off the year for you, and we're doing it for 2 reasons. First, we're highlighting all the...
So not super thrilling if you're not the target audience to listen to this particular video, but possibly more interesting than reading it in text format. Just another example.
What is ASP.net? In which event of page cycle is view state available?
I should probably give you a little bit of context here. This is a highly technical interview. So you may have come across a lot of these platforms out there, which basically enable you to be interviewed, but not in person. So the first stage for many companies now is they will have prospective candidates take a remote interview. And what normally happens is you receive questions on a screen and you're expected to record yourself in video responding to those questions. So we want to upgrade that experience so that the questions are being asked in a more human way to create a more, to sort of replicate the in-person interview experience more effectively, and to create that kind of 2-way rapport. And so that's basically the concept behind this particular video. So as I've alluded to, we work with a number of different verticals, and there's applications across the board. And if you guys have ideas, all ears, or wanted to discuss anything, but it's e-commerce. We're also working in the space of languages and e-learning and sort of learning on the go, so that you're actually learning with a tutor or a teacher. We're very involved in the sort of digital health space as well. And customer support is not something that we've necessarily spoken about a lot, but it's a really obvious one too. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. I will make sure we'll just go to like, and the team. This is who we are. That doesn't really matter too much. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to see, oh yes, now I can see the chat. So we've got 10 minutes left. Let's see. How would this compete with celebrity spokespeople? So Actually, our product is more designed so that, you know, what we're kind of prioritizing is everyday people, and everyday people can join the platform and can become talent that brands can select from. And these people actually earn a royalty, or they get a micropayment every time their likeness is chosen and used. So we're a real platform in the sense that we have demand, which is clearly customers, brands and businesses, and then we have supply, and our supply are everyday people who are signing up to the platform. And I know Maria is in the queue there for to get captured, because we're just launching a beta now where through an app on your phone you will be able to sign up to become a character, because we're going to be building out that side of the platform so that customers and brands have more faces to pick from, essentially, and more people can participate, which we think is a really fun thing to participate in, and also, you know, as potentially some extra work, some extra income over time. So we kind of focus on more like the everyday aspect versus the celebrity side of things. That is a very thriving space, particularly in Asia, where you actually have celebrities which are homegrown AI celebrities. And it's a really interesting space, whether, you know, you can also have celebrities who can capture their likeness and extend their footprint, and they can speak different languages to their fans that they don't speak themselves. So there's a lot of possibilities there, but where we're kind of focused on is serving and sort of enterprise clients by supplying a lot of different faces which we so to enable more personable communications between brands and their customers, to kind of connect on their level, in their language, in a more effective way. So I'm trying to speed read Anthony's question. But I think we kind of just talked about that a little bit. That's fine. Okay, great. Moving on. Candace, do you currently have diverse characters on the platform? Yeah, we do actually. So we've got African American and we have Asian, and we have used both on the platform, male and female. But we are in the process of building out, you know, a full kind of platform of diverse characters is the goal, and we have started doing that. But yes. It would be cool if an hour one character could join the talk via Zoom. Yes, we have thought about that. The thing is, what we do is we provide the face for a lot of the intelligent, potentially intelligent chatbots and sort of the brain side of an AI human. Our characters actually don't purport to be intelligent. The intelligence comes out of how we are able to create really lifelike content. That's kind of the part of the whole AI human puzzle that we are focused on to start with. Can you skin a character to look exactly like a real person? And can you skin a character to look like an animated character? So we focus on real people only. We don't do animation. So, but we can actually, you know, we source real human beings, and we think there's enough real human beings out there to join the platform to fit pretty much any casting role, any brand, any brand's needs, because the idea is to create relatable video content. But we can also play around with that a little bit. You know, we can adapt and play with some aspects of the character as well as needed for a specific client's needs. So, yeah. I think I kind of addressed most of these questions, but yeah, if anyone would like to get in touch, continue the conversation elsewhere after this, you can reach me at natalie@hour1.ai. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Really good to see you all. Bye.